Good morning, Teddyson John. Thank you for sitting down with the nation at such short notice. We appreciate it because I know you have to be busy because this is the height of the carnival season. How are you doing, sir?
Morning. How are you? I'm okay. Everything is all right. Everything good.
How would you say the carnival season has been going for you thus far?
This carnival season is a special one. It's extra special for me. You haven't had carnival for 2 years over here, so there's so much excitement. There's so much vibe on the ground. But this year was a history making year. This carnival is a history making carnival and a very special one for me.
What, outside of it returning for the first time since 2020, what about it made it a bit more special for you this year?
I was able to do my first ever concert in Trinidad. I have the Teddyson John Experience, a show called Stripped, which was very different. I set out to be different with it, and different can make you a little scared sometimes because you don't know how it's going to turn out. I assembled an amazing team, on the ground in Trinidad that have a lot of strengths in what they do, and we pulled off something different that hadn't been done, and to do it in the heat or the sauce of the carnival. I am still kind of lost for the words because it's just been amazing to know that they can be a space for something like that, in the heat of the kind of in the heat of the rara, like how Fama would say.
How long were you guys planning the event?
Boy, this has been planning in my head for a long time. Yes, I've been coming to Trinidad for a while, but I always wanted to do something in Trinidad, but I didn't want to do something that was like everything else. The Napa is a very special place that I always, thought something very intimate can work, something very, the Napa lends itself, to that. So everything was like something that was manifested. Like I've been, it's on my vision board or anything. You know what I mean? So I've been planning it in my head a while. I think I had the guts to say, okay, let's do this. From probably I would say mid last year, say, okay, let's get this done. Assembled the team, creative directors, PR, directors, project managers, my band, from St Lucia, also my Trinidad, family, my Trinidad band as well. Just a mixture. I would call it a sort of like a cultural catalog,
Right.
of musicians, and we came together. It was scary at times because to do something different, you need to. That's never been done. You don't know what runs through your mind all the time.
Any major challenges staging it, especially given that it was your first time?
Well, it was our. I mean, you have challenges if with sponsors, because it's new. It's something again that nobody's seen. People not really accustomed to. People don't know. So the what we wanted to do, we had to scale back a lot because financially it wasn't feasible for us to do. But I was saying to the team, and I was saying to the creative, which is Bill Jackson. If we could have done, if we could have pulled it off with nothing, you know, we could pull it off with nothing. Far less what we can do um, with what we really wanted to do. But the God and the universe had it that way that, you know, what came from your heart is what, you know, made sense. Like, we probably stripped the entire production, you know, extra, you understand? And what you saw on that night was a team making something happen with limited resources, but we made it happen.
Well, congratulations on that, because I know planning a show in any major or minor show is not an easy task at all.
Yeah.
Given
Yes,
given
yes.
the nature of the show, was it the case that you wanted to ensure that the artists who can sing, or who have a certain level of vocal talent, to give them the opportunity to showcase that? Because sometimes among the rah-rah, for lack of a better word, the vocal ability of some artists, can be lost,
Mhm.
jumping away. So was it the case that that was one of your intentions?
Well, I wanted people to hear the artist in a different way. I wanted people to hear the artist story. A lot of artists have songs and write songs or songs written for them, and you don't know the story behind it. You know, you don't know the idea. You don't know where it came from. So you got to know like an intimate story and an intimate setting. You know, there. I also wanted to do artists. It didn't necessarily mean if you had a big song for the, you know, for the season. I didn't want that at all. I wanted the catalog to be respected, and we're in an industry that, okay, it's only what you have this year, what you have this year. And the respect for a full length of somebody's catalog or somebody's work is not really there. Um, so the artists for me were chosen like that. I wanted to hear what I had ideas for what their music would, sound like, what lyricals music would sound like, what farmers music, just different ideas, and creating that lane. I'm a fledged musician, so I pretty much get involved in the production, the creating, the arrangements of the music. Um, just not necessarily who can, sing, but I think the music can lend, itself when you actually strip out the music with their vocals and their lyrics. It can lend itself to something different, and it can be presented in something different.
And with that being said, were you satisfied with the overall response from the patrons and
Well, I was shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked because until a couple of days towards the show, for about 1 week or 4 days or 5 days to show, um, it wasn't really looking good in terms of numbers, and I don't know where these people came from. I don't know where people came from. We did a couple of interviews on television and radio, and I remember bringing one of my musicians, Zach, with his acoustic guitar, and just vibe and let people know. So I think everybody that showed up, you know, was supporters, but other people that showed up also was people that was curious to find out what is it. I think the seed that we've planted, you know, like it's tell a friend to tell a friend. I think we're gonna have a bumper crowd, next year, God's spare or God's willing, and something like that, because the reviews from what we did, it's just overwhelming. It wasn't expected. I know what I could have done. We know what we could have done as a team. Full confidence in that. But we just didn't know people would really accept it and let me know that there's a place actually for something like that in the heat of everything going on.
I said it probably goes without saying that you're already planning to stage a show next year.
Yeah, we already it's the seed is already planted. It's already there. There's so many. The show is just something of a difference. We also did like tributes. We had a tribute to blacks. In a different way. Blacks is one of my biggest in influences in basically allowing me or teaching me to just be myself, be you. Whenever you people, you can't be a carbon copy. You can only be you because everybody else is taken. So what people got to see was, they got me, got to know Teddy, you know. And it was just amazing being able to even arrange his music.
COVID definitely showed how important how important festivals were to the entertainers, and ensuring that they get bookings and they can keep working. Do you ever see in the future it being a case where soca artists, regional artists, will be able to, make a living, not just performing within carnivals or festivals?
When For me, this is one of the reasons why, we did something in St Lucia called Caribbean Moscato, to get away from, depending on only a carnival. The music, our music is carnival based or festival based. That was one of the exact reasons why we went down this route, because apart from the big crowds, there's so many there's so many other music festivals that you can do. So it's a perfect opportunity to take the music and do it in a different way, where you don't have to depend on only that kind of vibe. Soca is diverse and to be enjoyed by a global audience, and this is just what we proved with Stripped. You understand, it proved that the music can be done in a different way. You understand? So that was what it is. The future for it looks bright, and artists can probably be able to, come out of a little comfort zone and try something, a little different. It can be palatable to everyone else, and not necessarily, that kind of vibe. You have new generation of artists pushing boundaries, you have these kind of things.